Good morning, grade 3s, and welcome back to these online lessons. I'm so happy to be with you. This is our maths lesson for the day, and today we are going to be focusing on doubling and halving. So let's have a look. What does doubling and halving actually mean? Well, doubling is multiplying by 2. Or doubling a number, making it double the size. For example, 3 times 2 is 6, or 3 plus 3 is 6. Halving a number means I'm making it half the size. So half of 6 is 3. We've halved our number. They're the opposite operations. And there we have doubling. Focusing on doubling means to add the same number on again to make it twice as big. For instance, 4 times 2 equals 8. And here we have doubled our picture. Right, let's continue. Here's an example in picture form of doubling on pictures. So we've got 4 people in this little group here, and we have 4 people in this group. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 8. We have doubled our number. There are double the amount of people. Another way of saying that would be to say 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. Getting the idea? Let's make the number a little bit bigger this time. Here we have some cute little cartoon stick figures. It's about all I can draw, grade 3. I'm sure you're better at drawing than I am. So here we have 4 plus 4 plus 4, so we have got, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people there in that little group, and we have 13 people in this group. Oh my goodness, I'm getting stuck. So we've got 13 here. And we have 13 in this group. If we add them together, we get 10 plus 10. We add our 10s first. 10 plus 10, which is 20, plus 3 is 23, plus another 3 is 26. And another way of writing that, of course, is 13 times by 2, or we're doubling it each time, is 26. I'm going to show you now, we're going to go into just the numbers and no pictures this time. I'm going to show you now how I think the best way of setting out a doubling sum would be, just to set it out in the most sensible and organized way. So firstly, we need to take note, grade 3s, that 32 is made up of 30 and 2. You must understand, and it's very important, that the 3 in this little area where it's positioned is not 3, but it's 3 tens. So it represents 30. That 3 stands for 3 groups of 10. So in other words, that is has the value of 30. Now, why have I split this? I've split this number because it's easier to double them when they split. Right, so there we go, 30 doubled. Well, 30 plus 30 is 60. And if you're struggling to add 30 plus 30, then I would just add 30, write down 30 like this, and I would add 10 plus 10 is 20, 40 plus 10 is 50 plus 10 is 60. So you can add in smaller amounts. Now to double 2, we know that 2 times 2 or 2 plus 2 is 4. So we split the number firstly so that it was easy for us to double. Now we've got to bring that number back together again. So we're going to add them, and we're going to get our answer is 64. So double 32 is 64. But that setting out grade 3 really helps you to organize your maths thinking and put your maths working onto the page in a sensible way. And it prevents you from making unnecessary mistakes. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one now. Double 43. So let's think of a story sum for double 43. Well, let's assume I have got 43 Rand, and the next day I sell something of mine and I get another 43 Rand, so I'm going to get double that. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to split up 40 and 3, knowing that that 4 in its position in the tens column there represents 40, not 4. And there we have 3 in the units column. If I double 40, well, 40 plus 40 is 80, like you would say 4 plus 4 is 8, so 40 plus 40 is 80. 3 times 2, or 3 plus 3, is 6. Now I've split my number up over here into 40 and 3, so now to get my answer, I need to bring the number back together again, and I'm going to say 80 plus 6 is 86. Doubling. Another way of writing that would be 43 multiplied by 2. Let's do this one now. Now we're getting our numbers a little bit bigger. Now we've got 3 digits, but you can manage that quite easily. Let's assume that you were sitting in your lounge and you were sharing 132 Rand, you and your brother or your sister. So you would have to share it out equally. So not sharing, you were doubling. So you were sitting in your lounge on the carpet, and let's try another example. Let's say you had 132 marbles in your marble bottle, and your brother or sister has also got 132. How many would you have altogether? Well, we need to split our number up again. And 132 decomposed or broken up is 100. So the 1 is not 1 and it's not 10. It's 100 because it's in the hundreds column. 132. Now, if I'm going to double 100, I can easily do that because it's a rounded number, a friendly number. 100 twice is 200. Double 30 is, well done, 60. And double 2 is 4. Now we need to bring these 3 numbers together for our answer. So 132 plus 60, 200 plus 60 is 260, and then plus 4 is 264. Another way of writing that is 132 multiplied by 2, but you probably won't be doing those right now, but just to drop that into your minds while you're thinking. Here's another one. I think we need to make this a little bit smaller. let's double 147. And remember, we're going to split our number up, decompose it, in other words, break it up into 3 separate numbers, 100 plus 40 plus 7, which makes it so much easier for us to double. So 100 doubled is 200. 40 doubled is 80. And 7 doubled is 14. You see how important it is for you to know your multiplication tables too, everybody. Right, let's bring this number and get the answer. Let's bring it back and add them all up together again to get our number, our correct answer. So 200 plus 80 is 280. Plus 80 is 280. Running out of page space. But be very careful here, because you're not just adding 4, but you're adding 14. So let's add the 10 part of 14. So 280 plus 10 is 290, plus 4 is 294. Righty, and here's quite an interesting one where we're going to do our pyramid puzzles again. And we're going to, the pattern that we've got down here is that we are adding these two numbers, the bottom two numbers, and when we get the answer, we're going to double them. So, for instance, 2 plus 1 is 3, doubled gives us 6. So, we're going to also do the same here. 1 plus 3 is 4, but double that. 4 times 2 is 8. Now we're going to look at these two numbers. 6 plus 8 is 14. And 8 plus 10 is 8 and 10 is 80. Yes, I'm going to get my pen back. Is 18. All right, now let's have a look and see if we've managed to get that, if that number there is correct or not. All right, so 14 plus 8, well, let's rather go 14 plus 10, is 24, plus 8 is 32, but remember, I have got to double this number. So 32 plus 32 is 64. So a big tick. All right, let's do the same one here. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 doubled is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 doubled is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 doubled is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Doubled is 24. 6 plus 4 is 10. Doubled is 20. And 20 plus 24 is 44. And 44 doubled is 88. Tick. Right, we're going to go on to halving now. And halving is exactly the opposite of doubling. So let's have a look and see what we can read about that here. This means, if we're going to halve any numbers, it means we split the number into two equal groups. For instance, 2 boys share 10 sweets. So if they share them out equally, each boy gets 5 sweets. So 10 halved is 5. Here is an example. Here you can see there are 16 children in a class. Half went to a gala. how many children were left in the classroom. Here we have 16 little guys, and 16 halved is 8. There are 44 apples in a basket. Mom used half of the apples to make a pie. There must have been one big pie. How many apples were left in the basket? Well, let's see. Similarly, as I did with the doubling, I need to show you how best to set out this work. So once again, we're going to halve 44, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to split our number up to make it easier to work with. Right, so 44 is the same as 40 plus 4. So let's halve 40. Well, what's half of 4? It's 2. So half of 40 is 20. And what's half of 4? So if you have 4 sweets and you give half of them away, you only get 2 left over. But we need to bring these back together to get our final answer. So 20 plus 2 is 22. Setting out like this is important to keep your work accurate. And the next one, if Sienna had 68 Rand and she shared the money with her sister, how much money would they each get? Well, what's the first thing we're going to do, grade 3s? We're going to split our number. We're going to halve our number after we've split it up into 2 parts. We're decomposing the number. So we need to now halve 60. Well, if I've got 60 Rand and I give half to my sister, how much will we each get? Yes, we'll each get 30 Rand. But then I've got to share my 8 Rand as well. I have to halve the 8 Rand, which is 4. And if we bring our number back together again to get our total, we will find that our answer is 34. This one is a little bit more tricky, but it's not impossible. Sometimes I see the children in my class eyes get bigger and bigger when they have to try and halve 90. Well, look, it's pretty easy. Let me show you, but let's read the story some first. 90 marbles shared between 2 boys. How many marbles do they each get? And you say to yourself, well, I don't know how to halve 90 because 9 is an uneven number. But if I split 90 up and I call 90 and decompose it, it is the same as 80 plus 10. That just helps you. Now, are you able to halve 80? Yes, half of 80 is 40. And half of 10 is 5. So if we bring the number all together again and marry them up again instead of splitting them up, 40 plus 5 is 45. So you need to commit that to memory. Try and remember that half of 90 is 45. It just helps you to do your work a little bit more quickly. And now we're going to make it a little bit more tricky, but not really. We're going to do the same thing, but now it's not 90, it's 96. So let's split the number up. So let's go, right, so 96 is the same as 90 plus 6. Let's split 90 a little bit more like we did in the previous slide. So we got 80 plus 10 right, and we still got this as a 6. We've got to now bring that down so we don't forget about that little guy there. So if I halve 80, I get 40. If I halve 10, I get 5. And if I halve 6, I get 3. So 40 plus 5 is 45. Plus 3. Oh, Mrs. Harmon, your writing is terrible. Is 48. Right, so there is that method. And that should serve you well if you just set your work out like that when we do the worksheets after this lesson. Let's do one now. We've got 3-digit numbers. Move this guy up a bit, and I think I'm going to move my face around this way. Right, so 140 stickers shared between 2 girls. How many stickers does each girl get? Yes, we can do this quite easily. Let's split our number up again so that we can do it in 3 parts instead of in our heads with 142 halves. So let's break it down and decompose our number. So 142 is the same as 100 plus 40 plus 2. Now, what's half of 100, guys? I know you know this. Yes, 50. Well done. Half of 40 is 20, and half of 2 is 1. Let's bring this number together to get our total. We're going to add them. 50 plus 20 is 70, plus 1 is 71. So, half of 142 is 71. I'm sure you feel quite comfortable now with doubling and halving grade 3s. So when you do your worksheets after this, then just use the same method as I've shown you here. And of course, you always know that you can watch the video again if needs be. It's always good to do that, I think, just to make yourself more familiar with everything. So, and that's the end of our maths lesson. Just remember to do the worksheets afterwards, and there are the answers ready for you to mark your work. And remember to watch the language lesson later on. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.